everyone, and welcome to the new episode of Entrepreneurship Lab. And if you're an entrepreneur, definitely stay till the end of this episode because we're going to be talking about branding, how you can build a strong brand, how you can connect your brand with your own personalities. And who better to speak about that than branding expert, coach, and influencer Jenny Martini. She's coming to us from Berlin in Germany, originally from Colombia, and she has a huge background in fashion, modeling industry, and working with one of the biggest brands around the world. And now she helps individuals build their brand as well. Jenny, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Nevena. Thank you for having me as your guest.
It's my pleasure. So Jenny, share with us a little bit of your story. I know a little bit more, but I want listeners to hear from you about your journey, about becoming an expert in branding, how everything started, and how did you ended up where you are today to help so many people build a strong brand.
Thank you for your question. So my background is in fashion. I started in the fashion business at the age of 15 years old. I started modeling in my hometown, Cali, Colombia. And at the age of 19 years, I moved to Bogota. So I became one of the top models in Colombia. I work with the best fashion designers there and the Fashion Week Bogota and all the major events. There I met a gentleman by the time, so I got in love, and later at the age of 20 I moved to Germany, where I continue working as a model now in the fashion industry in Berlin. I joined several famous productions and television shows. And so I continue developing into this fashion world and helping to contribute work to a lot of famous and huge giant brands. And there is where I learned how to brand. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. Yes. So let's jump into some questions for everyone who are entrepreneur. And if somebody is just starting, what would you explain what brand actually is? And we usually sometimes think, okay, brand is a logo, brand is, how you recognize a product or service. But what would you say what brand actually is? And how can someone start creating their brand, especially when we speak about personal branding or if you're branding a product or service?
Well, right now, brand is a logo, brand is a website, brand is colors. That's what most people know about brands. But the brand actually in psychology has to do with symbols and style. And to develop or evolve or create your brand, you can think about this like, look around you and look at yourself and look, what is my style, who I am, and who do I want to be, and how do I want to connect with my audience? So is my audience hippie, boho? What is the symbol? What is the people like? Like, for example, brands like Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is all about taking massive action and grow. So this is one of the attributes that make you think about Tony Robbins, or for example, Chanel is classic and elegant.
Yes.
Things like that. Those are some of the things that we look at when building brands.
Yes. And I remember speaking with you when I was actually in Berlin just a short period of time ago. And we spoke about branding and we talked about when we communicate with people, you remember, right? How we send a message, what is our customer service, what kind of experience people have when they work with us. And you said this is part of your brand. So can you explain a little bit more about that? How is it actually important, especially when we start as a small entrepreneur, the relationship we are building is actually the reflection and it builds our brand.
Right, you're absolutely right. It is all about building relationships, and what brands do, they want to make an emotional connection for a long term, because we plan to our customers buy from us over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So we concentrate more than, instead of sales, buy from me, we concentrate more in delivering value, and it's all about the experience. So I care a lot about experiences. For example, when people come into my virtual office, I want them to perceive me as fashion. I want them to see that I am really prepared to help them. It's all about also how you present your brand in the background. There are a lot of key pieces that we look at, so that we connect with the people, because we share personality and we share a lot of different attributes and things in common.
Yes, yes, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. So for someone who is maybe just starting and they are thinking they want to build a brand, where would you start? And what would you tell them? What are some parts they have to have when it comes to building a brand? What should they pay attention to? And what should they do first? What should they do second if they feel lost? Like, how do I brand myself?
But where we usually start is we conduct an analysis, and we look with the inputs and outputs, such as I take a look. So we took a look together and we find out what is the skill set, what is your skill set, what is your budget, how do you want to develop your image? You know, some people just are overweight and they had some things to change about themselves. They smoke or they drink a lot. So how do you want to develop as a person, your image, your identity? We look at financial, we look at what human resources do you have to use. So we start by conducting this analysis, and then we develop and we look at ways how you can monetize and make out of your skill set and capabilities a business that people want to pay for.
Yes, yes, exactly. So it's very important, I think, for every entrepreneur to know that people want to buy your product or your service. They really need. And sometimes I think I see that a lot of people have good product or service, but it's just that part of branding, that audio branding, how they communicate, how they show people, if they create urgency. So it's more sometimes that sales part and changing your message a little bit to increase your sales. But let's stay on the branding. What are some mistakes to avoid? What would you say are some mistakes to avoid when it comes to building a brand or branding yourself, maybe even in marketing, promoting or social media? What are the most common mistakes you see out there and you would tell people to avoid?
The number one mistake I see the whole time, and I think, what a mess, oh my God, is please, please, please understand that building a brand takes a lot of time. So it takes many years to build your reputation. So treat it with respect, treat it with a lot of care, because what I see in the marketplace is people, hey, buy from me this, and they don't deliver they don't deliver the promise, and they want people to buy things that are, it's scary, the behavior, but people always remember how you treat them. So they probably will fail in your trap one time.
Yes.
Well, they never come again, and these people won't become a brand.
Yes.
Or they might become a brand, but I don't know what kind of brand.
Yeah. So first of all, like you said, not to hurry, right? So understand that it takes time to build a strong brand, and also that don't fall in the trap to promise and then don't deliver, because this will kind of destroy, right, your brand and your image that you send out there, because people will not come back or recommend you if you don't deliver the value that they expected.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other mistakes?
Tell the truth. about your background. You know, people don't expect you to be perfect, because I tell this because we, and I am including myself in this, most of us, or the population, the world is right now into transition. So we are transitioning from the industrial age to the information age. And people who used to be a lawyer, they are innovating, and they are going into the information business in the same field, but doing it a little bit different. And you don't get to overdo and pretend to be someone else. You just want to let people know that you are just transitioning, and that you are getting the experience.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like you said, I really love this. Don't try to be perfect. It's okay to not know everything, and tell people you will research for them, and people connect that way. It's absolutely normal that, maybe you don't have all the answers, but you will do your best to help them, and that's absolutely okay. So
People
let's
will
talk.
respect you. People will respect
Yes.
you and love you, and
Yes.
then later you will become a brand eventually.
Yes, beautiful. Okay, so what are some things people can do to speed up this process of branding? Can they create, implement? Should they invest in ads? What would be your guidance for them when they're building their brand and building their business? Like, what is a must do, and what are some things that are maybe not priorities, so they know, hey, do I do this first or do second? What do they have to have in place when they start their business or service?
Well, when it comes to branding, I really recommend you to spend a lot of time in the planning process, because we have in business, and also in the law of attraction, the law. So we have the incubation time, we have the gestation time, and then we have the action time. So you want to make sure that you define and work in yourself, in your identity, in your personality, and that you know what is your brand about, and how do you translate your idea into a business offer.
Mm-hmm.
And then when your mind knows exactly this picture, then it will be more easy for you to execute and go into the marketing stage, which is do, promote, sell, and connect with people.
Yes, I think once you have that clarity, you need that clarity first, how you're going to serve, how you're going to message it. But should people like really spend a lot of time and energy? Some people I see, they want to, they don't have big budgets. So they build the websites on their own. They do a lot of things. But I feel sometimes we spend a lot of energy and time, and it's not necessary to do that one right away and have everything perfect. But what would you say, what do we need? Like, do we need a logo? Do we need the website first? What out of those practical things should we post things on social media to have, kind of like a back office to show people, hey, yes, I'm here present on social media, this is the value I'm giving? What should people focus on first, and what is something they can maybe not put a lot of energy at the beginning?
Well, what I do with my clients, we start right away delivering and developing the voice and the messaging. So the best way to achieve this is by doing.
Yes.
I am a doer. So go for the first time, it's like in a reality show. Jump out there and start training your voice. So
Yes.
finding your voice, because it took me like 2 years to find my voice. And I am very honest to you, I am still developing my voice. So it's a process.
Well, you're amazing, and you don't look like someone who took you 2 years, because you're so outgoing and so confident. So I love that about you. But it's very nice that you shared, because even myself, I used to be a professional dancer. So I was in theaters and groups. So I loved stage. But I remember when I started as an entrepreneur and I was supposed to make videos for social media, I thought I have to be in the suit all the time. I have to be professional. Then I was reading text and it was like so unnatural. And then like my paradigm was holding me and I was always finding excuses. Not today, my hair is not perfect or this. You see, now I'm even without makeup. I'm really relaxed and this is who I am, right? So I'm not someone who is obsessed to always look perfect or I have to always wear makeup. This is part of my brand, like you say.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. But, but what I'm saying is that also I was on stage and I was very confident whenever we jump in something new, like recording the videos, putting your social media content. I see it with my clients all the time. It's very uncomfortable. You have to break this terror barrier, right? You have to get into it. Like you said, jump, do it, and you will get better. So people tell me, now, oh, you're very natural on the video. And I don't even know what I'm going to say. Sometimes I just start talking. But it took me, again, a couple of years. I'm doing it all the time, every single week, or almost every single day. And from being very serious and very worried how it's going to look, then you relax and you don't focus on perfectionism, but really put your energy out there. So I really like that you focus on action as well. So we want to tell everyone listening, just jump and do it. Jump and start doing it and you will get better and better and your brand will evolve. So tell us a little bit more about evolving your brand and growing from beginning to really becoming the strong brand. You work with some of the biggest brands in history, in the mankind, right? In fashion. How do those people, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, and all of those people become those brands? Like, what are some small things you discover on your journey that maybe we don't know about? And then how can people get on that ladder?
I love that, I love that. This is a world of fantasy. So Gucci, Prada, Chanel, when you see the fashion shows, you see that it's all about fantasy, like crazy woman shopping in a supermarket with a lot of luxury and and it's all about branding. Has to do a lot with not be authentic, like as you said. You want to be natural, you want to be yourself, be authentic, but show people something they don't see daily, transport them into another world. It's about fantasy. And one of the steps in branding is we start with planning. We first made the sketches, and then we design which decorations we are going to use for a window display design. So anything is like it happened for happen. No, everything is planning from the very beginning, but everything is an illusion. And yes. So you should see your personal brand, because right now you might, I tell you from my own experience. I was bored from being a household woman. I was married with a rich guy. And I was bored of going to the supermarket or buying luxury things, or not having a goal, something that fulfills my life. And then I got this idea of Tony Robbins, and I projected myself into this fantasy. This brings people to connect with some possibility. So this is what brands do. This is what fashion does, actually.
Yeah, so I think, yes, if you're having a product or service, then like Jenny said, let's try to show people where they can be or what their product can do for them. Or I think even those luxury products, right? Let's say Louis Vuitton or Prada and so on, people buy it because it's kind of status, right? You feel like, oh, I'm the woman who can wear a Louis Vuitton, or I'm a man who wears Louis Vuitton. So it's something that we desire. Like you said, they projected in us in this fantasy world. It's just a bag, for example. You can find a nicer bag.
It actually fulfills your needs, your human
yes.
needs. of
Yes.
being of service, of being a person, an important person. If you have a Louis Vuitton, then you become, people will acknowledge you because you have a
Yes.
Porsche. So it's all about psychology, actually.
Yes. Yes. So
Human emotions.
if you're listening and you have a product or service in your business, then think about how you can fulfill human needs within your product or service, right? People want to feel loved, they want to feel appreciated, they want to be acknowledged, right? They want to be of service. So how can you, your product or brand, develop that to people? And then you create this fantasy world for them, so they really want your product or service and they dream about it.
Right. But I offer what my brand offers, and this is the sense I want them to feel, is that they belong. They have a family, they have a community where they belong to, and of authentic people where you don't need to feel judged because you are an ambitious person.
Yes. Yes, beautiful. So Jenny, tell us, how can people connect with you? And also, I would like to give us maybe some last words on branding or some advice, anything you would like to share with everyone who are listening.
You can connect with me. My name is Jenny Martini, and in my social media is Soy Jenny Martini. And you can find me at www.jennymartini.com. And evolve your brand, evolve your soul.
I love that one. Okay, so do you have any final words for us? Anything else you would like to add, or any advice to people out there, something that you didn't mention?
Be authentic, enjoy yourself, dream big. So have the fantasy and turn yourself into the fantasy, because everything is possible.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Jenny. We're going to put the link in the description of this episode so you can connect with her on your social media, reach out to her if you need anything and you want to know more about the branding. Thank you for listening. With some more valuable content, my online course, please check the link below as well in the description. I'm here also to give you a lot of value, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye, everyone.